I'm here with Josh. We're outside Old Trafford. Manchester United have lost 2-0 against Burnley. Josh, what did you make of that today?
It's just disappointing, really. I mean, we come here and pay for entertainment, and it's not entertaining anymore. We can't break down the final third. We can't progress. We can't. I mean, the Burnley fans were chanting a lot louder than the United fans were today, and that's just disappointing, really, for me, because growing up as a United fan, it's like we're supposed to be the best, but nowadays it's like teams think that teams can break us down better. We're not up to standards.
You mentioned the atmosphere there.
Yeah.
Like, I've noticed recently, obviously with the Red Army doing such good work in the corner, they get things going, and slowly but surely the enthusiasm gets sucked out of the fans as they're watching what unfurls on the pitch.
100%. I mean, first 15 minutes, 20 minutes of the game before we conceded the goal, you could see the positivity. We thought, all right, maybe we can get a goal here, maybe we can go on and win this match. But the second we conceded that goal, it just seemed dry. The whole stadium just felt dry. All I heard was the Burnley fans chanting all day. It's disappointing, that is.
You could hear some chants from United fans though, and it was a lot more involved this time in the anti-Glazer chant.
Yeah.
What did you make of that?
First of all, I want to get the Glazers out of the club.
Yes.
I think I fully appreciate what the players are doing, what the manager's done. I think we should stick with Solskjaer. I think the Glazers are they're just milking the club. They're completely just taking the club for everything it's worth, taking all the money out of the club, and they're just not giving anything back. They're not giving anything to the supporters, to the fans. They're giving money to the manager, but
It's not much, is it?
yeah, it's not much. It's not what we deserve. It's more like, it just seems like they want to sign bigger name players instead of actually strategically buying players which are going to help improve the squad.
100%, I agree with you. And it feels like today that this was a culmination of all those bad decisions that we've seen ultimately lead to us having Ollie as manager and all those players. Brother, how you doing? Thank you for stopping and waiting. What did you make of that today?
It was absolutely disgraceful. I've flown over 24 hours on a plane from Australia to come and watch that shit. It's just not good enough. Like, I don't know what to say. It's absolutely ridiculous.
You don't know what to say about the football, obviously, and it felt like everyone was shell-shocked by the football in there today. Although some might say you've got to expect where we are at the moment. Would they be right?
I mean, with the state of the club, the Glazers, the coaching, the players, the injuries, like, you do kind of expect that kind of stuff, but it shouldn't be that bad. Like, we're Manchester United. That should not happen here. Like, it's Manchester United.
We had a lot of vocal chants towards the owners today. What did you make of those?
I loved it. That was the only time I felt the atmosphere of Old Trafford. The only time I felt the atmosphere was Old Trafford was the bonfire chant and just the Glazers out, everyone standing up chanting. Otherwise, it was just a dead stadium, and I blame that on just the depressing state the club's in from the owners.
You think it's right all down to the owners, or could certain managers be blamed, or is it down to just the owners?
Well, look at all the managers we've had in the past. Like, I think they all start well, and then they just get the pressure of the owners and stuff and the money issues, and it just goes downhill from there. Every manager has pretty much started on a high, and it's just slowly declined and declined and declined. And if it's not the managers and none of them have fixed it, then who do we blame? Obviously, it's the Glazers and the owners.
Unfortunately, they're not going anywhere, though. So do you see this getting any better?
I don't see it getting any better. We might even end up like a Sunderland. And I hate to say that, but seriously, it's getting to that stage. It's getting absolutely terrible. And I wake up at like 2, 3 a.m. in the mornings to watch matches, and I'm disappointed every single time. Maguire, some of his passing today was absolutely atrocious. Just long balls going to absolutely no one. There was no intent, no urgency, no one running up and down the pitch. The only positive I saw today, and the passion, was in Brendan Williams. Like, that's the only passion I saw. Everything else was just absolute rubbish.
You think when you're watching at home at 2, 3 a.m. in the morning next time we're at Old Trafford, do you think that the chants towards the owners will be louder?
I hope they are, because they need to be. Like, I probably won't do anything, but they need to be louder. Something needs to happen. Like, even when I came out of the stadium, 4 or 5 people started chanting Glazers out. No one else would start because they're all scared. Everyone's scared. They don't know what to do. Everyone's scared, but we need to do something.
Defo. What did you make of that today?
I mean, it's disappointing. It's devastating for sure. What scared me is that after we were losing, they didn't put 10 people behind the ball. They went for it. Burnley went for it, and that's scary as a United fan. When we've grown up seeing United scoring, when the opposition scores, they just play defensive. But that wasn't the case today at all, and they went for it. And we got the tactics wrong. I think Ole got the tactics wrong. He got the team selection wrong. There was no urgency, even with Greenwood coming on. Where was he? Right? Why wasn't he up there? Maybe put 2 strikers up front. I think he tried to do that in the last 15 minutes, but it's too little, too late. So yeah, just devastating. I actually thought the atmosphere was fine, to be honest. I was there at Anfield away, and I think we had better atmosphere here than then. So I thought the atmosphere was fine.
What did you make of the chance towards the owners?
I mean, it's not going to do anything. I think it's a step in the right direction. It's not going to do anything. The owners have given the managers quite a bit of money over the last 6 years since Ferguson has left. As someone else mentioned, it's just gone to the wrong players. I hear there's talk of Luis Campos coming in as director of football. If we get it,
there's always a good briefing though, isn't there? And very little action happens.
Yeah, I mean, Woodward can't be buying the players. Like, that makes no sense whatsoever. We all know that. I think if we get a director of football or someone who's recruiting not for money, not to sell tickets, not to sell, mega store jerseys, but someone who can actually improve our football, that'll be great. Because the money is clearly there. I disagree with everyone who says the money isn't there. Money is there, and I think Glazers are taking a lot out, but they're also ready to put in quite a bit in terms of recruitment. It's just a matter of when. Deep down, I don't think they trust Ole. I don't think they trust him, because we clearly know we need another striker. We need another.
So why would you? It's not. I'm not asking you. I'm asking you like you're a Glazer, but. Yeah. But then why would they give him the contract? Do you know what I mean? It just shows you again that their decision making is beyond belief.
No, the decision making is bad. I think in the AGM, in the boardrooms, in the quarterly updates that Woodward needs to give, I think stability goes a long way, and I think he's just banking down on that. It shocks me that we've not gone for Poch, to be honest. It shocks me. He's a better manager. He's available, maybe end of season, but I love Ole. I've grown up watching him. A lot of sentiment there, but come on, I came from India, watched 2 games, 2-0 both games, but it's shocking performances. I don't mind the loss. I'm optimistic, I don't mind the loss, grown up with Fergie time, but this was bad gameplay. That's just what it boils down to, and we don't deserve it. I think we're overcompensating for having the counter-attacking mindset earlier on, and I think people gave Ole hate for just playing counter-attacking, but now we're too slow. There's no urgency. We can't break down Burnley's lower block. I mean, what's going on? Right?
It's bad times. What did you make of that today?
It's a pretty shocking performance, to be honest. Obviously, echo what everyone else says about there's no strong leadership at the top. There's like a real lack of football knowledge. So there's bad decisions being made for recruitment, maybe some appointments to some managers. We know that's the thing, but what really disappointed me today was more like the tactics, and what summed it up was when he took Williams off. And James, James is dead on his feet, but Brandon Williams is someone who wants to make it happen. He's got a football brain. He's got the appreciation of space. He's just a good footballer, and then you just take him off for Luke Shaw, who's just, for me, Luke Shaw's just another one who's just sat there on a big contract doing nothing, not fulfilling his potential. And to bring Lingard on as well, who's done nothing for ages, and to be fair to him, he scored in cup finals, got respect for what he's done, but he just, I don't know, it's that old school chant, you don't know what you're doing, and it went through my mind. I'd never say that about Ollie though, because we just love him so much. But
so you feel like there's been a lot of focus on the board and the owners today, but today you felt Ollie could have done more with what he had as well?
A lot better. That team should be beating Burnley. There's loads of glaring things in it, but what really disappointed me was he didn't notice where the gaps were in the team, which players we can bring on to affect it. I know Gomez might not be signing a contract. I don't know, maybe that's why they don't bring him on. But get someone on the midfield who can pass the ball quickly, then we can sustain some attacks to make some chances, because that's what we needed. What was Lingard and Shaw going to do? It was like we just gave up. They were just like, oh, they're on the bench, they're on a big contract, they're the boys, let's put them on, give them some minutes, keep them happy. But it was bullshit. It's just bullshit substitutions. My nephew, who's 12 years old, who normally comes to me, he can't come to night games, he's got school, whatever, the next day. He just texts me, he was just like, what's he doing with the substitutions? You're thinking, how does this kid who's 12 years old he's watching at home and he's like, what's that going to do? How does he know? And then they don't. I never see him on the touchline coaching them either. Mike Phelan stood there with his hands in his pockets. How can he be stood there with his hands in his pockets when it's going like that, when they're running around like headless chickens? Yeah, I know there's all the stuff with the Glazers.
What did you make of it? Were you involved? What did you make of it?
With
the chance, yeah.
Yeah, we did get involved. I sit in like what was the old scoreboard end, and before the other week it was just in the Stretford end, wasn't it? But it was, everyone was doing it. Everyone was standing up. Everyone was getting involved. People had just had enough, and I think this summed up. Everything just come to like a culmination tonight, didn't it? And I think
it felt like one of those nights, didn't it? That I don't know, it's not a turning point because we're not going to get rid of them, but it did feel like.
Yeah, I always try and take the positives out of it. That's why I'm so disappointed. But I'm really, really struggling.
Come here, man. You need a hug.
Really struggling.
Cheers, man.
I do,
Appreciate it.
No
Thank you very much.